Today's Wednesday, Tom,
I'm Tom Wise.
and I'm Melinda McKinsey. Are you excited about your topics today?
I'm very excited about the topics.
We are going to
We're unpacking some shit with Wines and
unpack them.
McKinsey.
That's right. And it's upbeat and happy and good. And we're going to talk about the contest that we promoted on Facebook because we are going to start rewarding our viewers.
It's excitement. Everybody, let's hear the crowd.
What?
So why is it I can't do anything unless there's a deadline and it's looming? That's the topic, number one topic of the day.
I, you know what? I've actually studied this to a certain degree. I'm the same.
Okay.
If I have 6 months to do a project, it feels like I'm free as a bird. So do I do the project early so I can get that off my back? No, I do not.
I mean, I accepted this gig on a boat 2 months ago.
Yes, you did.
Just to cobble together.
Yep.
First it was 20 minutes, and I go, wow,
Yep.
that's daunting. Then I found out it was 10 to 15. Then of course
Yep.
it's just 10 now in my head.
Yep.
And of course I haven't been to one open mic. I've stacks of papers. I've taken long walks. And I said, do I just want to do the old jokes? But no, I don't have any chance to get new jokes out. Although I did sign up for the open mic tonight that I was denied last week.
Okay.
Did I tell you about that whole controversy?
I don't remember you being denied on anything.
Yes, on Wednesday I applied to be in the Wednesday the big show, an open mic,
Yes.
and 13 people applied on about 15-person roster.
Okay.
No. And 16 people were assigned. Everybody but me was
Why?
assigned a slot.
You know why?
This is we need to get somebody behind this, figure out what's going on.
What is going on? So do you know why?
Well, I used to go to that open mic until there was a controversy between my friend Steve and the owner. Then Steve and the owner parted ways, and I, in sympathy, I stopped going to the mic. And then Steve and I opened up our own mic, which we had a good day last Friday, last month. But none of the open micers came. The only guys that showed up were old guys and this and this. It's like none of the open micers came to our open mic, which it's rare to have an open mic on Friday. It seems like the word was out.
Yeah.
Right. So but I'm never involved in any controversy. I don't want to get on anybody's side. It's all
right
good.
Now you're in the middle.
So I even said to myself, it would behoove me to go to the open mic. And, I mean, I'm friends with I've known these guys for like 5 years now. It's like, I've been doing this open mic thing for 5-6 years plus in this area. So everybody knows me.
Yeah.
I'm a huge supporter.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind. I dipped out during the pandemic. I wasn't doing a lot of stuff during the pandemic for a year. I'm an old guy. You guys think you're invincible. I get it. The 32-year-old guys don't think anything's going to happen.
Well, so
we'll see. We'll see if I get stiffed again tonight. Today, he put up the list. He goes, hey, we're open. I'm opening up the doors for tonight. He goes, it's tonight's lottery to see who gets to go up tonight because he's going to pick it. Last week it wasn't a lottery, and I jokingly questioned why I was left off the list. He goes, a lot of guys are trying to get on. Yeah, we had 13 guys apply. Then you added 3 guys, and then kicked me out. So
that's a hard place to be. Well, I'll be curious to know. So for your show on Friday on the boat, at this point, because today is Wednesday, do you feel like now for the next 2 days you're just going to be really jacked trying to put it together?
Well, I know what I want. I mean, I've got material and notes, and I've got enough material I can put together 10 minutes. So I'm fine with that. I wanted to get up and just maybe try some new jokes that you thought were very funny. And I wanted to try some new stuff, and then I wanted to see if I can incorporate it and blah 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 blah. But I got to get up. I got to get up and get on my feet and
Well, right.
do 5 minutes.
It's a difficult thing to do because you have to be willing to fail. The only way to know if it works is to do it. And it's scary.
Yeah. Well, I was going to go do it like an open mic with a bunch of other comics, but it's like, this is nothing. You got to be in front of people.
Yeah.
To go
No,
and,
you do. You do.
I mean, it's an exercise to get up in front of 7 other comics and no audience. You're doing something.
Yeah.
But it's not, there's no feedback. And you can kill a good joke by doing it in front of a bunch of comics who just kind of yawn. Because a lot of stuff that I would do would be kind of, dad joke-ish, and they're not going to be excited about that. They want more, earthy stuff. So
yeah, the worst audience is when you're doing those open mics late at night and it's only comedians, because they're not that, you would think they'd be a little bit more generous than what they are, but they're kind of cynical. At least that was my experience when I was doing late night open mics. They were kind of cynical. So there was no true test of how it was going to run with a real crowd.
Because a real crowd, the median age is 43. And, couples, dating. So all those topics are, own a house. All those topics are grist for the mill in a real life club. But in an open mic, it's, these guys the average age is 22.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
they're not so tuned into job, the boss, and on certain levels, they're not interested in your grass stories about mowing your grass.
Right. No, you're right. Do you know what the age range is for the boat on Friday?
The boat? Oh, the boat's gonna be 45 years old. Yeah.
No, so you'll be fine. I mean,
it'll be a nice group.
Good. Are you gonna dress up, or what's the protocol for that?
I'll have a nice shirt on. Absolutely. No tie. I'm not gonna wear a tie.
I didn't really know if it was a casual, or I imagine it's hot there right now. So
yeah, but at 6 o'clock, 6:30 when the show starts, you're out on the water. I'd rather be a little warm than a little bit cold. Last time we did it last year, it was like October. I had a jacket on. It's freezing on a boat. 62 degrees outside.
Ooh, it's still in the 50s here.
That's nice.
Then I did a segment earlier today for stations in San Antonio, and she said, oh my gosh, she said, I'm freezing. It's like 65 today. And, she was really struggling. San Antonio just gets that muggy, hot. And she said, I know I'm a baby, but she said, it's 65 and I just can't do this. It's like,
it's too hot or it's too cold?
It was too cold for 65. She said, I can't do 65. And I was like, girl,
isn't that something?
But your body adjusts. I remember when I moved to Florida thinking, it needs to be hot every day now because it's nice to have the warmth. But now it's in the 50s here. And I have to say, I'm loving it. It feels fantastic outside.
Yeah, it's crazy. Patrick, he can't have it hot enough. He loves it hot. Oh. He's got the air conditioning going because his boy is here for a week and his girlfriend. So he was just outside going, I got to get like a lizard. He's looking for a rock.
So when he doesn't have company, he doesn't like to use the air because he likes the heat.
No. He'll accommodate his company. His company they don't want an 82 in the house. They prefer 76, 75, something reasonable.
No,
and he's very accommodating. So the house is all nice and cool right now.
Patrick's great. Well, I want to know if just briefly, if we could touch on this Bill and Melinda Gates scenario. I read a couple things. I want your opinion to see what you think, because they were married for 27 years, Tom.
Wow.
If you're billionaires, are they trillionaires yet? I don't know.
No.
Okay. So if you're a billionaire, Tom, and you've been married for 27 years, and when they got married, they both were older and educated. And so this was not a rush, decision. They knew what they were doing.
Well, he's 68 years old now?
65, she's 56.
65. He looks older than that.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's always looked older. It's just his whole like.
So she was.
He does look like that.
What was that again?
That's my Bill Gates. When you see him setting, he's always kind of like this, right? And he's got like this little turtle in a shell look about him. He never looks like. But everybody has their style.
He can hop over an office chair from a standing position.
Well, how tall is he?
5'9".
No, he's tall.
6'1". You think he's 6 feet?
Yes. just by watching his lanky walk.
How tall is Bill Gates?
And he slouches. Short guys don't slouch, Tom. They don't.
Sure, he's on it.
Okay.
You never see a short guy slouching. That's a good point. So you want to take a guess at how tall he is before Suri tells us?
6'2".
6'2". Oh, no.
No way. No way is he 5'10". He slouches. Look at pictures of him and tell me.
What did I say? What was the first thing I said?
Oh, man.
5'9"? Did I say 5'9" or 5'10"? I think I said something like that.
I mean, you definitely were going towards the shorter end. That stuns me because in my head, he's got long legs and he's always walking like this. And I'm just telling you.
How about this? He puts on a slouch so people think he's taller.
It's that double reverse psychology. I go for it every time. It pulls me right in. Bill Gates is only 5'10". How is he going to date now? You tell me.
Yeah, that poor son of a bitch. His dating pool is down to 0. 65 years old, 5'10", dad bod.
I mean, but here's the thing. He can buy whatever he wants and he knows that. So he'll probably buy stuff because part of the rumor is that in 2019, that's when Melinda first hired a divorce attorney because he decided he wanted to interact with Jeffrey Epstein. And yes.
Go on.
Oh, no. So that's the story that's like, brooding about is that she told him at the time, this is you don't need this guy. And I guess this is after Epstein had already kind of been busted out. And Bill stood his ground and said, well, I'm going to do what I want to do, And so I think that's part of the dilemma of when you have that much money, even though you're in a partnership, I'm not going to say having less makes you a better person, but having less teaches you boundaries and how to be smarter because the sky isn't the limit and you have to make smarter choices. But if you're a billionaire and you want to make friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who's going to stop your ass? Not your wife. Yeah. So what do you think? I want to know how they're going to date. Here's my prediction. I think Melinda is going to give a lot to charity. I think she's going to continue to be involved in women's issues, and she's going to have a lot of hot young guys we'll never see because who doesn't want to do that, right? She's going to be jaded on marriage. I predict within a year or so she'll get remarried because she wants to be with a partner. Bill will never remarry, but all the young hot girls will come up to him. He'll think that they like him for him, and he'll die sad and lonely. What do you think is going to happen?
All right, that's a good question. So I don't think Melinda would get married again.
Okay.
I'll say no. I'll put $5 on no.
Okay.
And the fact that generally a woman, once she's put up with a guy's bullshit, she's had it with that shit. My mom and my dad had a good relationship, but when my dad died, mom said, I'm not going to wipe anybody else's ass. I think I'll ride this stallion out by myself because she has had kids and things to do. Yeah. And I'm sure she missed on some level of male companionship, but it's like, I don't want to have to nursemaid some old guy sitting in a chair.
My mom said the same thing. She's like, I'm not taking care of anybody. It's all about me now.
So, I mean, I think women can be, especially if you've got means. Could you imagine the girls' trips you'd have?
Yes, I can.
You'd rent the cruise line to Alaska. We're taking a cruise to. I mean, you could have just you and your 16 girlfriends just go nuts if you had those type of unlimited, and then you dial in the
ship. I wouldn't go on a cruise. Take my own ship.
Well, whatever. Do whatever you're gonna do, and then you could dial in male companionship as you needed or as it would appear to it as it would appear. And then when things started getting rough, just like Gilligan, when the weather starts getting rough, I don't know. It depends where she's at. Does she have a good girlfriend like Gail and Oprah, where she's got her friend where this relationship is enough for me. I'm interacting. It's fulfilling. It's mentally stimulating. I feel physically, can do stuff. I don't know anything about her. I'm just saying it's that. Whereas a guy those old farts with money, the women, yeah, the 32-year-old is interested, but only interested in locking that shit down, not just being girlfriend forever.
Right.
So I'm going to say, I'm going to reverse your idea. I'm going to say he's more likely to get remarried in about 3 years. And then she's more likely to gal pal around it and have a ball.
Okay. I do agree with your reasoning. The only reason I think she's going to get married is just based on the things I'm reading. She seems very smart. She has grown children now. I think her youngest is 18. And I guess I've convinced myself that she'd like to know what it's like to have a good partner. She seems to be a partner kind of a person.
Yeah, I get that. I get that too. But you know what? I mean, it's got to be hard when you're both people of unlimited means. I mean, you would think on a certain level, you shouldn't be unhappy for a second. I should be being fed grapes. Someone should be walking for me. Why am I breathing on my own? Right? Why aren't I being serviced 24/7? You're not going to get that from your wife, and your wife's not getting, although it would have been nice if they could make that happen.
Well, that was my question, Tom. It just seems shocking to me if they managed to stay married 27 years with all of their resources, not only financial, but the foundations they work on. This surely had to be a long time coming. You don't make this kind of a change overnight. How is it with all of their resources, they weren't able to figure out a way to make it work? Because it is not easy once you're divorced, trying to get companionship.
At the end of the day, you're standing in one singular restaurant and you've got all of Paris to choose from. It's like, unless you really love that one restaurant in Paris or that one restaurant wherever you're at, it's like, it's hard to think about other things. And then, you're going to tough it out for 5 years, 7 years, whatever. It's like, you know what? Maybe we should just go both explore our options. It's sad. It's too bad.
Well, I hope that they find their happiness, and I hope that they're able to continue,
of course,
to grow in the ways they want to grow, because they both do some really important work with all of that cash.
Yeah. Tom Jones married to his high school sweetheart for 59 years.
The one he cheated on all the time?
Absolutely. He cheated constantly.
Yeah. You know what? From that era, though, a lot of women did unfortunately take that hit. It was almost accepted in a way because they were being taken care of. And that was from an era where women weren't always making the money.
Right. Exactly. You just wonder, okay, what if she had $500 million? Would she have stood there and went for that bullshit?
I would like to think not. Because that's a reason a lot of people do stay together, is you need something that they're
right. I mean, it would just hurt your heart too much to know eventually stop 7 years in, you just stop asking where you've been and what's going on or when you're coming home. It's like, it would be just devastating to have a partner to have to put up with that bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not a good place to be, but it'll be interesting to watch Bill and Melinda and kind of see how the thing goes. And did we talk the other day about the whole J-Lo Ben Affleck thing and Matthew Perry online with all the dating? There's that dating site called Raya with there was a bit about Matthew Perry and a bit about Ben Affleck. It was on my mind, so in my head we've already discussed it.
No, ma'am.
Check this shit out.
Go on, I'm leaning in.
So there's a site called Raya where obviously it's for like celebrities and famous people who really want to have like a relationship, which means they want to date young girls and not be embarrassed by it. So Ben Affleck was on the site and he hooked up with a girl who was a lot younger, right? It was something like 15, 20-year difference. So he and her matched like they do. I don't know how Rhea works, but it said they matched. When she saw that it was Ben Affleck, she thought it had to be fake. So she deleted him. Guess what Ben Affleck did? If you were Ben Affleck and a young hot girl matched with you and then immediately deleted you, what would that do to your ego?
I buy the website. I hire a private investigator. Is this what he's done?
So here's what he did. Now, I know he struggled with alcohol abuse, so I don't know if this is one of those situations, but what he did was dumb. He sent her a private video.
He sent her a private plane.
He was just stunned because he's Ben Affleck and she deleted him. So he sent a video, and it's like literally the phone is right here. When you don't have to do that. So the phone's right here. So you see him up close in the screen, and he go, whatever her name, Aria. He goes, here's how he did it. Aria, why'd you delete me? It's me. That was it. What? It's me.
You could go on your Bill Gates, Ben Affleck tour. Who needs?
I would rather do Bill Gates.
Who needs Frank Gorshin? Or Frank Caliendo?
How cocky of him to go, but it's me, man. So here's what she did, of course, because she's a young girl and she just, got this video. She shares it on TikTok. You should look it up I think they delete it. So she shares it on TikTok. And because she shares it on TikTok, this 19-year-old girl goes on TikTok and says, hey, I got matched up with Matthew Perry and I recorded it.
No way.
Matthew Perry when this happened, he was 51 years old. She's 19.
Go on. You know what? As long as the total is under 90.
Okay. See, I'm not good with numbers.
See, so that's 70. So they're plenty. They're fine.
Okay. So she's recording, her phone's at an angle and you can see the laptop. And so she's sitting there and she's all cute and she's doing this. Matthew Perry is like, he's being all casual. He's being all like, I'm Matthew Perry, but I don't care about it. I'm fine with Matthew Perry. So he's just like leaning in like, who do you know does a video chat like this? Like,
he's sitting like a billionaire with a bunch going choosing which restaurant in Paris he's going to be eating at tonight.
Yes, he is. And so it shows on the video, she's just like sitting here and he says, oh, do you always play with your hair like that? And so she's like, I don't know. It's that whole thing. It's every conversation you fear that it's going to be, right? So she keeps the recording and she hadn't done anything with it until she saw the Ben Affleck thing. And she said, hey guys, you think that's crazy? What the hell with Matthew Perry? Like, I'm a young girl. I'm 19 years old. He has no business reaching out to me. So it became a whole trend because.
She wasn't just walking down the street.
What?
She wasn't just walking down the street. She was on the app.
Oh, yeah, she was on the app. It was that I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. No one's surprised that anybody opened anything up.
Well, she seemed to be surprised.
But here's her problem. When you join these apps, you agree that it's confidential. Nobody wants to be made fun of because they've reached out to somebody, especially some rich fucker that can get whatever he wants. And so now there's a big, issue and problem with it because both of these young girls posted about this. So they've both been kicked off of Raya. The young girls can't be on Raya anymore. And then they're seeking to see what else they can do about it. Because I have to agree, as funny as that was to watch that, it's not my business because it was a private conversation between two people. I shouldn't be watching this on TikTok, and neither Matthew Perry nor Ben Affleck have responded to comments about how they feel about that situation.
Because there's just a no-win situation. You're absolutely best not to say anything. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, if you had that much money and you're on a dating site and you hook up with a 19-year-old and then because here's what she said, it was awful.
See, you know what? What happened to the old school? You mind if I join here for a minute?
What old school?
The old school way of doing things. Frank Sinatra, he didn't go out in the audience and start chatting up 23-year-olds. He had his man go out there and chat up 23-year-olds.
You need a middleman to protect.
Of course, because then you could throw that guy into the bus. I never said anything like that. What am I, crazy? What is he, nuts? He's probably just using my name to try to get action himself. I wash my hands of this nonsense. Instead of you're being recorded.
I mean, they're so sloppy. That's how when I was working at HSN, that's how I learned about Sting and how Sting cheated on his wife because someone that was there that was for another celebrity was saying he was the middleman for all the women. He would pick the women and find them. And so he was photographed with the women. And I was like, damn it, that's clever as hell. But also, damn, man, Sting, I thought Sting was one of the good ones.
It's, I hope there's some good ones out there, but it's hard.
I hope.
I mean,
I mean, is
you,
it hard though if you're a man and you're famous, either don't get married.
yeah. I'm not saying
Or,
it's right or anything. I'm just
no,
saying,
I know. I don't think you're saying it's right, but you do hear that phrase like how difficult it is because everybody's throwing their vagina in your face. And here's the thing, you get to choose. It could be tempting, but it doesn't mean you have to do anything about it.
of course.
Don't get married.
It's easy for me to say as I'm driving off in my Volkswagen, and every time he walks out of the car, 6 Lamborghinis pull up. He walks out of his house.
Yeah. So
Start feeling a
anyway,
little entitled and empowered.
I thought that was fascinating. Just so many of these dating stories have come up, and then I start going down these rabbit holes. I did write a bunch of interesting things, but there was another funny story out. Did you hear the latest when Seth Rogen was on? What's that radio guy? Howard Stern. He was on Howard Stern's show, talking about I guess he wrote a book. Seth Rogen wrote a book, which I'll read. I love when people write stories about their lives. He shared a story about how different Nicolas Cage is when you meet him in real life, like how he really is very like odd and different. And it made me think to the whole thing we were talking about earlier is when you have that kind of money, I get it, it's your buffer, right? So you don't have to do certain things the rest of us do, right? You can use that as a buffer. But they were saying with Nicolas Cage, they were supposed to have a meeting with him because they were doing a movie. And so Nick said, hey, I'm thinking about it. They wanted to do, I wrote it down because I don't know what these action movies are. I hope I wrote it down. Oh, Green Hornet. They wanted to do Green Hornet and they wanted Nicolas Cage in Green Hornet. And so Nicholas said, I have an idea for a character. Do you want to guess what kind of character Nick thought would be good in the Green Hornet? He didn't look at the script or anything. He just is Nick Cage going,
somebody made of ice.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or perhaps a bee.
It's a villain. So he was making up a villain. They didn't ask him to. He just is Nick Cage. And he's going to make up a villain. So he decided his villain would be a white Jamaican man with a Jamaican accent. Now, who knows if maybe he was going through a Jamaican phase, why he thought that's a villain. But Seth said, well, we're working on the villains. Why don't you come over? We'll have dinner. So Seth and his partner on the film invited Nick over for dinner. And so his partner says, now, when Nick comes over, he's not going to just like act out this villain, right? Because it would be so awkward having him do a Jamaican accent. Because I guess Nick is known for just kind of, pulling scenes out of his hat. They sent the script to Nick. He shows up at this dinner party.
In costume.
Not in costume. However, Seth says within 60 seconds of entering the house, he starts doing a monologue in a Jamaican accent. So Seth says it's awkward because no one asked for it, but yet he's doing this Jamaican. So everybody just kind of stops. It's Nick Cage and they're watching him and he's doing this whole thing. And then he's like a ta-da.
Here you go.
And everybody looks at Seth because Seth is in charge of like, what do we do now? Because it was awkward and weird. So Seth said that he said, hey, that's not the way we were thinking about going, but thank you. Thanks. Let's sit down to dinner. So he said immediately, Nick was like,
he wanted to start rolling production that afternoon.
So they go to sit at the table and Nick says, I have to go do something. And he left.
Wow.
He wouldn't even eat dinner with them. So the funny wrap on this story is that later there was a movie, and I guess Seth and James Franco were in it together, and James Franco did a white rapper with long braids and stuff. When Nick Cage talked about doing the Jamaican guy, he said, oh, and part of my character is I'm going to tattoo my hair on my head. And Seth is like, well, that's interesting. Then Nick called him back and said, 10? You're telling me?
No, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm right.
Oh, I thought you were saying 10 something.
No, I'm sorry.
No, because everything is numbers. I'm just trying to see.
I know. My bad.
No. So So Nick calls him back and says, hey, I don't want to have my character have my hair tattooed on in the movie because I'm going to try it out in real life. So Seth starts laughing because he thinks it's funny. And then Nick gets real quiet because he does want to do that in real life. So then fast forward to James Franco creating this character. Down the road, they're doing another film and they ask Nick Cage again to participate, and Seth's working with different people. So Nick says, before we have the meeting, I want to talk to Seth about something. Oh, okay. So Seth gets on the phone and Nick goes, hey, I want to talk to you. And Seth said, yeah, so this movie we're going to do. And Nick says, no, that Rastafarian character that Franco did he steal that from my Jamaican idea? And Seth says, no, that was totally different. This was a rapper. And Nick goes, well, it seems a lot like the guy I showed you. Did you show Franco, my Jamaican guy? And Seth says, no, I really don't think I did. And then Nick says, I got to go do something. And he hung up and he didn't do the film with them.
I like the line. My mom used to say, I got to let you go. Oh, I'll let you go.
I got to go do something.
I got to do hot girl shit. I've heard that. I got to go do Nick Cage shit.
It's just funny because, you've met a lot of celebrities at HSN, and I feel like for the most part, they were delightful, right? They were,
absolutely for the most part. But then you also have the idiots too.
Yeah. So I think the whole celebrity thing is just funny to me because they do live in very different worlds. And I guess I feel like money shouldn't turn you into a monster, because you are who you are. But it's just funny to hear that things that they can get by with, you could never do in like everyday life that most of us are living at this level.
Right. But it's got to be kind of an interesting thing because I don't even think about, doing something outrageous as people would look at it like I was nuts. Right.
Yeah.
So, but if you got all these resources and money and popularity, you get a wide berth for your madness before, like a rich person he's eccentric. A poor person is nuts.
Yes. Yes, that's it exactly. So I just thought it was hilarious. I think human nature has been intriguing me lately because I feel like I'd rather focus on these funny stories than all the dark, bad stuff that's going on.
Course.
I feel like everybody's kind of losing their shit a little bit right now. Everything feels crazy.
It is what it is. It's funny. I was talking to a buddy of mine and he's saying, oh, my doctor told me I got to stop doing this and stop doing this, my stress, my blood pressure. And I'm like, and then I was talking to my girls the other day and I was telling them about how they were making a point saying, that I don't ever appear to be stressed. I say, I know how this ends. There's no need to be worried about shit I can't,
Right.
affect.
Right. Yeah. I think for me,
kind of a sad note, but it's real.
No, there is no good end to not taking care of yourself, to being angry all the time, to fighting with people. There's no good end.
I was going through a photo book because I recently sold the house and assembled all this stuff. So I ended up with like 3 or 4 photo books. And then my sisters gave me a book that my mom assembled 10, 12 years ago. It was nice to have all this. So I'm going through my personal photo book. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. And he's dead. I don't have a lot of people in here. There's a lot of other people. They're gone.
Ooh.
Didn't make it to 60.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's just like,
do you often think, I only think about my age when it's necessary to express it. I kind of forget my age because I think my age freaks people out because we have a certain idea of what's 50 mean? What's 60 mean? What's,
right.
70 mean? So it's funny to me when that comes up in the conversation, because I mentioned it to my niece about getting a mortgage. And I said, I'm 60.
30-year mortgage.
I mean, what's my probability for bringing in income for the next 30 years?
Well, it's funny because Patrick and I were talking, I don't know how we got on this topic of height and, men's height. And I was looking at an actuarial scale. And I don't know what it was, but they didn't have anybody 70 that was 6'4" or taller. It's like 100% of people who are 70 are under 6'4".
Oh, see?
Wow.
You do hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't deal in reality because of things like that. I just deal in my own little world because I figure there's exceptions to everything. So as far as age
I
goes,
mean, what if you said, how do I feel? Where do you think you feel? Not physically, but mentally.
where do I feel on a numbers
Yeah, like
range?
somebody say, okay, well, what do you, so you're 60, but what do you feel like in your mind,
Oh,
your attitude, maturity?
I feel like 40,
Yeah.
early 40s, I guess. I feel like early
I think
40s.
that's a good spot. I think that's about right.
I feel, definitely past having kids, but also I feel fit and I feel thank you for the treadmill. I
Right.
feel energetic. I feel like I take care of myself. So I don't feel like, can I make it up those stairs? Because I don't worry about that stuff.
Right. No, no, but adventures, more adventures to come.
That's what I feel like. I feel
Yeah.
like I still plan on
I think,
going
yeah.
internationally and traveling and, now when I get there, will I fall apart? I don't know.
I mean, we just lost an old guy off the basketball court.
Why?
He's 64. He says, my knees, I'm done.
Well, you got to be smart about it if you can't.
Yeah, if you can't, oh no, they fall off.
Good for him.
I mean,
Good for
he's
him.
done, but he's done though. In my mind, I'd like to make it to 70 if I could.
Oh, you don't think you can make it to 70? I think you
I
can.
mean, I think I can. I'll make it live, but I'm saying playing basketball till
Oh,
70.
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like you take care of yourself. So
Yeah,
it's
but I
not
mean,
like
yeah.
all of a sudden one day you're going to take care of yourself. You're
it's
already doing it.
it's that injury that everybody's like, blow
Well,
out your knee, blow out your ankle. You're not going to recover from that.
no, I get that. Um, Speaking of health, tomorrow I'm getting my second and final Pfizer dose.
Isa.
Pfizer. And so I just learned from someone the other day that also had Pfizer. She said, well, did you hear about it? She said, there's a rash you get 8 days after. She said, she said, I didn't know anything about it. I started with a rash on my head. It went all over my body. I called my doctor. He's like, oh yeah, that's the COVID rash. Come in, get steroids. I'm like, wait a minute. I have not heard of the COVID rash.
Of course you have. Let me just say, anticipate getting something, but
No, I won't. I don't anticipate.
well, no, I'm just saying, be prepared. And if it happens, it happens. It still shouldn't stop anybody from getting the shot.
No, I anticipate being tired. Everybody says they were tired. Everybody says they were achy and flu-like, and that you could take Tylenol after the fact, and that helps with your symptoms. So I expect that. I expect to feel like I have a little bit of the case of the flu.
Yeah, Jamie was complaining about her arm having a.
Yeah. I expect that. But I mean, I'm not scared. I was just surprised, like, oh, I'm glad to know that, because if I had a rash all over my face, I couldn't work. And I wasn't prepared for a rash.
And I have seen the rash on the kid's arm, and the mom was going nuts, and everybody's like, okay, he's
Just
gonna
a
be
rash.
fine. You're protecting your kid. Like I said, that they did the test, 2,200 people, 2,200 kids. 1,100 got the shot, 1,100 didn't.
Right.
18 kids out of the 1,100 got COVID. Nobody in this field got COVID.
And have they started already with the kids?
Yeah, they just threw open the switch the other day, 12 to 16.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not scared about it. I was just kind of like, oh, I don't really want a rash.
Hey, look at this. I've not used this once yet. I've signed up in January.
Well, are you that kind of a guy that goes to?
Well, I was going to think about going to the gym and get a little weight work in, and like on Wednesdays, like today.
Yeah.
I'm losing too much weight. I know. I'm sure nobody wants to give a shit about
But
that.
don't you have weights at the house?
We do, but it's like I
Put
feel
on a
like.
YouTube video, dude.
Listen to me, huh?
Put on YouTube.
What's that? No, I feel like I want to have a like leg press or a big shoulder thing, something I don't have here.
Well, if you feel like you need it, then you should get it. As a female, I don't like going to fitness centers. It just is too weird and sexual, and you get stared at. So it's just not even worth it. I don't like going to gyms. I mean, I told you about that one time I was traveling for work. I love they have those little tiny gyms at the hotel. I love them. I would always go in and use the treadmill because it feels good.
Yeah.
And I've never been the gym girl that wears the matching outfits. I wear loose, baggy clothes because I've just had a bad history with men. My hair's pulled up, no makeup, baggy clothes on the treadmill. Just me alone. So happy. Ear pods in. No one fuck with me. A guy walks in, walks right up to my treadmill. So I was like, yes. Hey, so you're working out? What's going on?
You know, it should be like they should have workout clothes. It's red. Don't talk to me.
I need to
It's
get a
yellow.
charade.
Talk to me only at the cooler. Blue. Talk to me anytime you want.
Something like that. It would be great if you could do that kind of a thing. Like, you know what? Just fuck off. I'm not here to meet anybody. I didn't go to that gym thinking, Moy, I hope a random stranger comes in out of nowhere. And what woman would want that? I'm not going there for that.
Okay. Penthouse is to be blamed for this.
You're right. That's true.
And how's that? Go ahead. You finish this thought because I've got a specific thought.
Oh, well, I just feel like it's every man's fantasy, right?
There you go. I never thought this would happen to me. I walked into the hotel. I flew into Atlanta, thought I would just spend the night. I went down to the gym to do a little curling workout. And this unbelievable blah, blah, blah asked me as she's licking her lips, what's going on?
Because definitely when you have ear pods in, you want a guy to go, oh, you're working out?
I always, you know what? It's funny how things stick in your head, right?
Yes.
I have a specific memory of a Penthouse forum letters, right? All these crazy letters from Penthouse forum. And I'm 18, 19. Okay. Guy's cooking a chicken.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't have as much testosterone as you guys do, so I can't relate to that need to fill anything that you can fill.
But why do I remember that one? Out of all the time, all the different things I've read over that's got that specific memory.
It had to horrify you.
I was like, what? And then you got that classic picture, that classic scene in American Pie, right?
Yeah.
The guy has sex with a pie. Like,
yes,
I've never had sex with a vegetable or a pie or something that was dead. Although, and then you could then put the joke line in here.
You know, I didn't raise boys and I wasn't raised around boys. So I learned over the years through my female friends what boys are willing to do. And I was always surprised by it because, you know, it feels good and they just have the urge. And so it happens.
It's a curse, but then you're involved in that curse too.
Yeah. I mean, that was my whole point with the gym. Like, that was not a moment to be like, oh, I'm so flattered. It was more of I was the only chick there and it didn't matter how sad I looked because I purposely don't try to look cute because I don't care. I'm doing this for me. The fact that he felt like he had every right to approach me with something so asinine. It wasn't like, oh, where are the towels or can you know, it was like a chit chat when I'm actively working out. And I know I'm dumb when it comes to dating, but here's what I did because I can be rude. I looked at him.
You asked him for his room number.
Yeah. I'm so glad I read this story in Penthouse. This is exciting. I know I looked at him. I was so, it took me a beat, Tom. I was like, holy shit, you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. So I looked at him. I turned off the treadmill and I said, I was just leaving. And I left. I grabbed my stuff and left. Cause at that point, what am I going to do? But like, yeah, what are you doing? So I left. And you know what? I'm not the only one. It happens to women all the time where, you know, men maybe think they're charming. Maybe they think, you know, because they're lonely and traveling, like, yeah, we're both traveling. Hey.
I might have a room. You might have a room.
I mean,
I might be sleeping by myself. You're sleeping by yourself.
Right? I've got a penis. You've got a vagina. God made it that we would work together. Let's just.
These are like puzzle pieces, baby.
So yeah, I would like to end the show on an uptick. If we could. Do I have any uptick stories? I did read that Chipotle is officially changing their pay to $15 an hour. It will come into effect on January of next year. And so all of the other food chains are quite upset about it. But it's official that they've announced it and it is happening. And as a matter of fact, They're offering referral bonuses to anybody who will get them workers for $15 an hour. They'll give a $200 bonus if you find a worker to work at Chipotle.
Wow.
And they will give you a $750 bonus if that person becomes a GM, and GMs at Chipotle make $100,000.
Wow. Look at that.
So if you're looking for a job and you want to make money, you want to work up the ranks, I would certainly, if I didn't have a job, I would definitely look. I love their food. I like to boss people, and I like $100,000.
I should send my son there. He would be great at that. But
You honestly would. I think it's not, it's, you know what, and how cool to be working for one of the first companies that say, yes, you know what, yeah, we're going to pay our people. So I think it'll be a happier working environment.
I concur. That's a great story. I may admit, do you know any vegetarians that don't eat vegetables?
No. Why? Isn't that the whole point?
You would think.
Well, how are you? What are you called if you're a vegetarian that doesn't eat vegetables?
Well, you're eating like a fake hamburger or an artificial chicken or tofu that's made to look like it's cheese on a pizza.
I thought the vegetarian choice wasn't only because they feel for the animals, but because they want to take care of their bodies.
Right. That's the big lie.
All right, we have to think of a name for people that are vegetarians that don't eat vegetables.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I'll think about that. All right. On that happy note, I got to get ready for my Friday show. Thinking about that.
Friday show. All right. We'll see everybody on Wednesday, and we'll do the question of the day on Wednesday, and then we'll announce the prize.
This is Wednesday, isn't it?
Sorry, Friday. In just a couple days on Friday, we'll do the contest and we'll announce a winner because we have to have the person that answers first on YouTube the question of the day on Friday.
Fair enough.
All right.
And Friday morning, 9 o'clock, Long Arm Pruner and the Tomato Tower being featured on an HSN national show.
All right. And for me, Friday morning, 9 o'clock, I'll be in bed with hives and the flu.
All right. On that happy note, that's another one in the can. Thanks for watching Unpacking Some Shit. My name is Tom Wise.
And I'm Melinda McKinsey.
We'll see you on Friday. Have a good day.